Welcome to the second part of Photoluminescence, the main story event. The battle against Osphorus is heating up, Esprung doing his best to hold Osphorus from us, while we are in the reverse Babylon Tower trying to reclaim the sacred cannon. But not only he is our biggest problem. Part 4. Shadow of the Devourer. A facade of childish innocence hides a fathomless darkness. Eucharist. Which is kind of sad. I liked Eucharist.
Tis I, your most obedient and brilliant little sister. Oh, I see that the professor and little Anna is here too. Long time no see. Thanks to your good work after that game, it took me quite some effort to fully recover and return to the reverse Babylon Tower. I ought to pay you back for that, really. Man, you two, as well as the Big Sis Angelus, also guarded at the sight of little old me. Well, allow me to give you a show of a good faith first.
The former Greater Sanctifier stows her weapons, putting on a harmless look with her arm extended.
Come on, Big Sis Angelus, won't you give me a hug for this touching reunion?
Answer is given in the form of 3 arrows. Eucharist did not evade, allowing them to pass through her body with a nefarious smile upon her face. It was a projection after all.
Bingo! That's what's right. What are you looking at is just a visual projection. Rather, would you prefer that it was the real me standing before you, Big Sis Angelus?
Do not refer to me in that manner. She lowers her weapon, but the hostility radiating from her remains. With your station as a Sanctifiers abandoned, you are no longer my little sister.
I knew you would say that. Oh, Big Sis, you are as brilliant as always.
She sighs and shakes her head in exaggerated manner. Mockery filling her eyes.
Other than training and combat, all you speak of all is duty, station, whatever. I could not imagine anything more boring. My, would it be that your duty is to kill your former allies with your own hands? No wonder you attacked me without any hesitation.
Removing anthropomorphized Sanctifiers is my part of my duty too.
Jeez, how brutal.
The former Greater Sanctifiers make her way to a corner of the ruins, retracting her smile.
Hey Big Sis, have you ever wondered why you follow the Sanctifier's duty?
You seek to shake my faith with those meaningless questions?
Oh, I wouldn't say that's meaningless. Those things are of utmost importance. Have you really ever thought deep down just about why you fight?
I follow the Lord's commands and fight to protect Magracy.
Come on, those boring slogans make me nauseous.
When you get to the bottom of it,
these apparently unshakable beliefs are just lies made up to code. Follow to the core. When one part of it goes, it all comes crumbling down. Where do you think this tower of bubbles will fail first?
I won't give you the chance.
Regrettably, someone fired the first shot before I even made the move.
Eucharist slowly raises her hand, making a finger gun. Gripping her bow tightly, Angel watches over her every move. In just a moment, she appears behind Antonida. What? Don't be so nervous. It's just a projection. How could I bear to hurt the one who fired the shot in my place? You know that Antonida did kind of help creating the Babylon Tower? Fire the shot? So, little Anna, have you found me yet? The projection generator is on the pillar there. No need to make this so complicated. Oh, what a beautiful tracking method. You should have a great experience over those programs. No wonder you would build the reverse Babylon Tower and create so many of those, oh so pitiful Sanctifiers. Even as she mutters into Antonida's ears, Eucharist gazes at Angelus. Look, Big Sis Angelus, the god that Sanctifiers worship so, our creator, right before your eyes. She's not omnipotent. She does not even agree with your beliefs. The Lord's blessing, the Lord's guidance, things that do not exist in the first place. I'm not any god you speak of. Then why did you make those poor programs see humans as gods and then set a series of meaningless commands as a holy commandant? You wash your hands of it all, watching as we slaughter each other, killing, dying. Surely it must feel fantastic, no? I have never thought of it like that. It's just a symptom of humanity's bad taste. You sure like to make yourself innocent? You only pretended to not know. Just like those humans, you have never seen those agents as actual living beings. Yet, those Sanctifiers go forth and give up their lives for a few lines of code you offhandedly put down, unflinchingly blind to the truth, even when it is placed right before them. And you look down upon them from above. Eucharist lowers her voice, and it takes on an almost hypnotic quality. Marching on the battlefield to be slaughtered at a monster's hand over and over again. Watching as the righteous and virtuous fall, uncontrollably dragging those important to them into the abyss. Ending their companion's life, lest they be taken. Or dying alongside their companions, bearing the pain all the while. All this while their beliefs are based on falsehood, all mere fabrication. There is no soul that will return to the reverse Babel Tower. There will be no God who will come and shelter them. Just like that they die, pathetically, meaninglessly. How vain, how insignificant, how pitiful. How hilarious! That is the comedy you so desire to see, Re. An arrow pierces Eucharist's shadow, penetrating the generator upon the pillow. Eucharist's figure abruptly disappears, leaving only her laugh echoing through the chamber. Are you upset, Big Sis Angelus? Their sacrifices are not meaningless. A traitor has no right to more of those who give their lives for a greater ideal. Your anger is misdirected. Why do you not take aim at the God who plays with our lives, but at your former compatriot? Silence! How lost in your ways you are. Quite like Electra in this aspect, really.
Angelus is shocked at the mention of a familiar name, subconsciously tightening her grasp on the bow. Why bring up Electra? Yeah, why don't you take a guess? Doesn't matter if you guess wrong, really. You will have a lot of time to think of it over before you get to see me. Just what are you planning? Big Sis Angelus. No need to be tied up with her any longer. The professor steps forward briskly, removing their speakers from another corner of the room. Hey man, even my backup speaker been found. This round of hide and seek hasn't turned out very well for me. Though I did expect you to make your entrance and stop me a bit sooner, Professor. You have been a little too quiet today. Perhaps I have my own consideration. Really makes you curious? Oh well, I have said my hellos. I have what I came here for. See you later, Big Sis. The speaker fell silent, but that frustrating smile presence lingering, as if it were still before our eyes. Damn it, this feeling of being played with really pissed me off. Should I comfort you? No, I will be alright. Angelos? You have indeed wasted too much time on Eucharist. It was my error. Eucharist has always been smooth to tongue. I should harden my conviction, especially in times such as this. My apologies. The self-accusing voice grows heavier and heavier, as if it intended to shoulder blame for every past transgression. I shall endeavor to not be charmed by her words. We have little time to spare, Professor. Antonida, let us be off. Are you sure you can continue in such a state, Angelus? The professor bars the way as Angelus motions continue forward. The you of the past would have concocted a plan to deal with Eucharist rather than push us to go straight to her. If we allowed ourselves to become clouded with emotions, we will fall into her trap. You have the key to this mission and Eucharist's focal point. If you have not thought clearly about the purpose in coming here, I would advise you to take us and leave. Wait, Professor, if you? Yes, let's go with the other plan, even if it is a tad bit late. Salmon. A white-clad person had begun a call at some unknown time. And this is the first time, I'm pretty sure that's the first time that we see this doll, which we also get playable. Doesn't look very friendly. Your sight for sore eyes. Why did it not go well? Yes, it looks like we will have to opt for plan B. How is the situation on your end? So boring, it would make you want to puke, is what it is. Can't the bugs visiting Arcadia be a bit stronger? The pink-haired doll adjusts the camera, explaining over a back door of the captured image. Behind him, entropic corpses yet so dissipate pile up in mountains as the cause of this scene leaks a remnant operance on a knifed edge, completely nonchalant. Sanitary, you know? Is he Sanctifier? That's not sanitary, you know? A little bit of unease facilities enjoyment, does it not? Shall I come pick you up? There's not very much time left. I guess he's from Arcadia, right? Yes, as quickly as you can. A white-robed human mutters in thought. Right, it's us. If this operation fails, all of our previous plans will fall like dominoes, and the state of things will become unsalvageable. The result will be complete interposition of Magracia. Oisphorus will have what he desires and be able to access the outside world. We must stop such a thing, Salmon. No need to change plans. We will continue. The great Sanctifiers do not her usual smile after a deep breath. Do not underestimate a great Sanctifier's resolve. Even if the foe is a former comrade, I shall not waver, even for a moment. What is it? Nothing. Just thought the look in your eyes was familiar. Makes me think of who I was in the past. The professor said nothing else, merely patting Angelus on her shoulder and standing side by side with her. The revelation that long-key beliefs are based on lies is bound to break many. But do not forget what has kept you going all the time. Of course, I keep it in my heart in every moment. Thank you, Professor. Go thank the Professor if you must thank someone. But it's us. I'm merely imitating what I see from them. Well, we actually not the real Professor. I think this is what he refers. Yes, I would appear there in a need to offer thanks in person after the mission is over. And I'm not sure how much of this information is already known in Magracia that we are not the Professor that we used to be. That's how things are, Salmon. You can stay at Arcadia, no need to come over. Aye. The Professor cuts the call, leaving their incoming indignities and complaints on the other side of the screen. So, Antonida, how does tracing the speaker? Eucharist is indeed waiting for us at the Patreon. Looks like she knows what we are here for. We need to make this in good time. Hold on, there's some trouble to take care of. Before the Professor can move, Angelus fires a shot around a corner and an entropic cry of pain can be heard. Soon an endless tide of entropics appeared around the corner. When did they get nestled in here? Some gifts left behind by Eucharist. Do not forget that I understand her as well as she understands me. It is time to punish those naughty children. Are you two ready? I'm indeed ready. And then there is the farming stage. Just a battle in between. It looks like we will get a showdown between Eucharist and Angelus. It kind of reminds one on this topic in the Tartarus chapter. Entropic dichotomy? Yeah, I think that's what the chapter was called. They have definitely quite the difficult names. Let's continue with part 4. Flaring starlight. The star and the flames catch for the first time. I think we are back with Hesperus and our Oisphorus. On the battlefield, the clash of flames and starlight continues. Perish the thought of running away. Hesperus swings his blade, calling forth a grey wall of flame to intercept Oisphorus' retreating footsteps. A trace of surprise appears on the latter's face. The Sanctifier leader
does not let go of this moment, rushing towards with his blade. His many years of combat experience warned him that something isn't right in this apparent advantageous moment, and he immediately shifts his score to the right. Sharp senses, but it is far too late. A sharp glimmer of starlight skims past Hesperus' left blow, returning to its master with a few slivers of blood in tow before clawing downwards at Hesperus' throat. The deadly strike does not land as intended. As his opponent finds himself off balance in the air, the dragon tail around his ankle had already moved and yanked him to the side. With one hand on the ground, Osphorus moves to cut up the tail, but it retracts quickly and its master soon returns to a fighting stance. What a hassle! Your command of your body is even finer than before. I should have paid more attention to you. Our last spar was before even the assault on Tartarus, no? Why betray the Sanctifiers? Still asking such questions. Tearing apart the cosmos between his fingers, a sky full of meteors descends like rain, the very image of despair. Hesperus does not await, instead taking a wide step forward, towards the void before him. Within the blade in his hand, opponents coalesce. Condensed, simulated flame follows the blade as it cuts through the air, charging like a burning tide, swallowing the metals and crushing their phantasmagoria behind Osphorus in one great swoop. A singular strike, cutting apart the very sky. Your power demands no less respect than before. I swear one of them will not survive this chapter. You seemed a different person altogether after returning from Tartarus. You still wore a smile on your face, but I knew it was just nothing more than a mask you wore. Tell me, Osphorus, just what did Malkira say to you on that day? Did he tell you this? A hint of displeasure crosses his face, but it's soon covered up by his usual frigidity. The Osphorus you knew never left Tartarus that day. None of that matter now. It's important to me. I must have a reason to bear my blade against you. A reason? Blinding starlight launches at Hesperus' core once more. The latter blocks with a shield, swinging with momentum. You are a Sanctifier, a protector of Malgracia, and I am one who would devastate its peace. That is reason enough to be opposed. You know that is not what I'm asking. I want to know the reason behind it all. The thing that make you willing to discard the Sanctifier's beliefs and use the entirety of Malgracia as a bargaining chip. Osphorus speak no more, only swinging a blade of starlight with deadly intent towards his former companion. See now. The starlight finds its mark for the first time. Red operants flow from Hesperus' left shoulder, staining his clothing. Why not defend yourself? With your abilities, that strike should have been easy enough to ward off. Despite the abnormality of the situation, Eusphorus grabs his chance to attack. He brings his might to bear, swinging directly towards Hesperus' head. The Sanctifier leader remains silent. He clasps the blade of starlight with his hand. Operants float out of his lacerated palm, painting their brilliant light red. Why not return the attack with your sword? If you not give me a reason, I shall give myself one. Thus to strike are not my past transgressions, and for two promises I cannot fulfill. Hesperus, how fare your preparation? I should be one asking that question. Your squad will be the main character in the assault on Tartarus. Do not say such things. You will have to lead the main force in attacking Entropic's presence in the border while ensuring the safety of the other parts of Magracia, making time for us to act. Your load is no less than ours. You're more proficient with words than I am. Hesperus shakes his head, displaying to Eusphorus the stores of weapons and arrangements of troops, the details of which have been stressed over by the great Sanctifier countless times. I shall do all I can to pray for your great success and safe returns. Do not be so anxious. The Lord shall shelter us on our path. Observing Hesperus' based visage, Eusphorus twirls the hair upon his shoulder, an idea coming to his mind. Right, I was thinking about leaving you with the other areas of Magracia even after this operation has ended. You can try to develop some relationship with the agents this way. What do you think, Hesperus? What of you, then, Eusphorus? I should like to rest a little after such a battle. Oh, I'm not sure if you can rest after that battle. I'm more suited to focusing on combat. You managed those matters previously, and I'm now skillful in communicating with those agents. They have some interesting reasoning. I think it is quite valuable. More debased and unscrupulous than interesting. It appears an opportunity, as good as any to me. Eos! Oh god, Eos is with us right now, right? Alright, stop messing with Hesperus, Eusphorus. Sanctifier akin to Eusphorus, his appearance cannot hold back her laugh anymore, joining the conversation. Eusphorus thinking about it seriously, that will never get Hesperus to relax at all. It will have the opposite effect. Really? Looks to me that he is not as stressed as he was a moment ago. What do you think, Hesperus? You were joking just then. See? What have I said? You too, Hesperus. You need to stop indulging those delinquent-like impulses of Eusphorus. I think it is more appropriate to call it, in Electa's word, a work-life balance. And quick and easy expression on his comrades' faces caused the edge just of Hesperus' mount to curve upwards ever so slightly. No, I can give it a shot. He shifts his sight towards a commemorative stele not far away. If it shall help you bear their shackles' weight, I will be more than willing. Hesperus? The silver-haired leader puts on a strange expression, but soon smiles and nods. I see. A joke that might have been, but when this operation is over, The border shall be nothing to fear. Then we can cooperate with the agents together and fend off whatever demonical plots may come. Before then, I must leave that duty with you. Eos, I shall need your help as well. You are a far better teacher than I when it comes to such things. You are too humble. It is true that I have some relevant insights to share with Hesperus though. Let's figure out details after we return from Tartarus. Yeah. I shall pray for your swift victory. Yeah. Victory. The concord is made with the rising sun as witness. Their hands clasp together for the first and last time. Eusphorus, what causes wounds? Healer! Where is the healer? I need... No, it's not big deal. Let me be by myself for a moment. Alright. A pair of golden eyes looking towards him are familiar yet foreign. In this moment of bygone life, they were dead as water, deep and motionless. Familiar with battlefield and its cruelty, Hesperus quickly realized its meaning. Alright. Thank you. Heavy footsteps pass him, dissipating at the hallway's end. He did not spoke any of his intent to impede or comfort, only standing in silence in the vast, empty temple. Several days later, the familiar figure appears before him once again. Eusphorus? What is it? You. Are you already well? He could not bring himself to ask such a question. He could only express his care in a different way. Why? Are you back at work already? Because there are many things that must be dealt with, including the defensive arrangements of various sectors. You have done well in my absence, Hesperus. Leave the rest to me. Alright. Countless words to speak, all turning to silence before they leave the lips. There happen to be some entropy that demands your attention. Hesperus, would you make your way to the front line? Yeah. The Sanctifiers could only live once again, inadequate in the way of words. Not knowing whether it would be proper to leave Eusphorus alone upon the throne, he could only throw himself into their infinite slaughter once more. If the battle ceased, the pain of lost friends would once again coil around his heart, not allowing him a single night of peace. I once promised to bear the burden of protecting Magrasia with you. After what happened in Tartarus, I choose to flee from it all. I fled my responsibilities, fled the deaths of my dear friends, fled from that unfamiliar you. I have wondered that, if I chose to remain, to help you and keep my duty, if I had done that, would you have not forsaken us? Do you not already know the answer? They actually make it for us even much lighter. What I desire shall not change, even if you stand in my way. There is only one more person to to cut down for me. The starlight, forged blade, tramples in Hesper's grasp. Fulgent sparks begin to rise. With the pressure brought by temperature, he shatters the blade's tip with his bare hands, forcing Osphorus to let go and pull back. With one of two strikes, I bore at the price. I repent for the promise I leave unfulfilled. Let us end the games here. A great red dragon forms behind him. The opponents leaking from his wounds vaporize and melt, becoming one with his overflowing furor. The terrifying outpouring of opponents shakes the very sky, making the fierce exchange just when it looks like a child's maneuver. The ease on Osphorus' face disappears. The cosmos expands and crackles behind him, belching forth great meteors, forming the shape of a great eye with the countless nebula within. It does remind one on Eos Ultimate, right? Come, Osphorus! The dragon roars with fury, rushing towards that heretofore untouched firmament. Damn, this is only like it's not like we are already ending the story. It's only the start, and this is the start of the story. Stage 6. Fiery Starshine. If possible, I would rather not have to stand against you. Oh, maybe we don't have Hesperus as playable, but I can already see that his he will be like similar to Lind, where his life is more depleted and then he becomes stronger and more stages of battle. Or like strength. For Magracia, for the Sanctifiers, for our oath we shall maintain order in the face of chaos. Except the final one? Oh! It is actually playable for us. Look, it's him, Hesperus. Skill details, we don't have it. He's an attacker, no way will we get him playable one day. Like we do have his model, right? For Magracia, for the Sanctifiers, for our oath, we shall pawn our blades. For Magracia, for the Sanctifiers, for our oath, we shall defend justice. Part 6. Verifying secret. A secret known only to those two sisters. Doesn't sound good. Verifying. Wait, where are we? In the hidden passage inside the reverse Babylon Tower, the trio holds onto the rails of their life, fighting against the vampires of high-speed movements. Isn't it a little bit too fast? I have disabled the speed limits for now for our sake to make good time deal with it. Eucharist had activated the tower defense terminal and I don't have the permissions to turn it off. We need to set to the pattern before it closed down for good. The green-haired doll leans forward, looking towards the upper layers. A staggering numbers of entropics awaits at the tunnel's end ahead, scratching as they launch attack at the group. We're about 30 seconds out. Angelus, we need all of our entropics blocking out the door out of the way. Understood. Receiving the command, Sanctify immediately leaps off a corner of a platform, her mechanical wings extending mid-air as she spiral upwards in the operant's formed passage. Countless arrows of light appears behind her. Remaining still for a moment, upon the bustling before they speed towards their targets. She cares not for the explosion behind her, knocking, drawing, losing, repeating the same simple motion. She removes the obstacles in but a few seconds. As the smoke from the explosion dissipates, the enemies are nowhere to be seen. Only the dozen of golden arrows embedded in the wall remain. Good work, Angelus. Hey, Antonida, how are we going to decelerate later? The physical way. Watch your tongue, yeah? That smile. Oh, wait. The sensation of inertia spikes again, putting the two through the closing door together. Angel's shields make it in time to stop the two from harming an intimate end corner with the floor. Encounter. I would have preferred to not go through that again. When we get back, I'm going to file an official complaint. You got that, Antonida? Antonina? Even calling her name does not elicit a response. Ever since the group has entered their pantheon, the doll's gaze has been glued to the light in the center. That's the Sanctifiers sacred cannon, huh? Yes, a tome of unsinkable value containing all information related to Sanctifiers. The information of every Sanctifier, past and present, it contained within. Not only that, it also keeps the entirety of the reverse bubble tower in good working order. Would be no exaggeration to say that it is our most important possession. Yeah, I can understand how important it is. This familiar feeling. Just what? Look out! The doll is tackled to the ground before she can even begin to react. A projectile of operants penetrates the wall behind her, leaving a clean hole where she stood just a moment ago. Even if she tried to avoid it, I'm pretty confident that would have worked. Did you do something, Big Sis Angelus? Without waiting for an answer, Osiris finds the answer she's looking for in the following operants. Ah, so that's what it was. You left a shield for them. No wonder the attack started deviating when it got close. You do indeed have the right to face me, having taken care of all the entropics in this tower. But do you still have the strength to fight me, Big Sis Angelus? The great Sanctifier ignores the malignant mockery, calling her weapon to the side. You two, take good care of yourselves. I might not have the opportunity to watch over you later. Yeah, you go do your things. I will run analysis at the sacred cannon while you are at it and try to get its ownership transferred over. Your human permission, Professor? Yeah, got it. Any other instructions or requests before we begin? Don't think so. Just like before. They extended a fist, lightly touching Angel's shoulder. Show me the glory of the Sanctifiers, Angelus. Of course, I shall display this entirely, for both of you and them. The greatest Sanctifier's mechanical wings spread as she grips the weapons in her hand tight, honoring her agreement and duty. I shall bring us victory, as we agree upon.
Aw. Done with the theatrics? She forms a golden arrow in her hand, resolutely directing it at the former sister. Well, this is rather proper, no? Ever since I left the reverse Babylon Tower, I have awaited this day. Her fork and shield crash together in her hands. The dual metal humming spreads through the past pantheon, akin to the chariot called before battle is engaged. Remember this, Big Sis? Every time we spared, we would use the cessation of this sound as a signal to start. This will be the last time. Indeed. Will you please not bore me, Big Sis Angelos? The humming ceases as the two speak. The very next moment, the scene of carnage shatters whatever happiness left of the past. Oh. And we have our fighting sisters picture. Golden arrows fall like rain upon Eucharist. She returns a leap, blocking with her shield as she awaits. Ever the sound of creating distance like before, huh? After evading the rain of arrows with several tumbles, opponents coalesce on her weapon. Here. In a split second, the fork in Eucharist's hand flies against the rain of her arrows, aimed right between Angela's eyes. Her shields having been transferred, Angelos can only evade with a turn to the side, the uploading of arrows having given pause. It's not over yet. Taking advantage of the lull, Eucharist flies towards Angelos alongside her weapon, aiming an opponent evade flying kick. Hence, Angelos blocks the strike with her bow, letting loose a fully drawn shot in the nick of a time. Eucharist blocks it with her shield, using the opportunity to pull back. In a flash, both launch an attack at the other's weapons wielding hand, but neither can find a gap in their opponent's defense. Nice one, Big Sis. That shot was quite interesting. Eucharist pulls her fork out of the wall, nonchalantly putting away the dust on her clothing. How did you know I would fire that shot? You should have been in visual dead zone. Angelos returned have fallen. Scattered arrows to opponents before retrieving them and knocking an arrow once more. Perhaps I just understand you too well. I know everything you cannot consider of. Foul trickery. She loses her arrows again, signaling the start of the round 2. So that's what a fight between great Sanctifiers looks like. Scary. Take care not to get caught up in it. You have a job to do. The green-haired doll linked her computer to the sacred cannon. Countless pop-ups appeared as she dismisses them swiftly. Every time I read green-haired doll, I always try to restrain myself to spell it green-haired lolly after the Steins-Gate event. How goes the analysis? There's more data in the sacred cannon than I imagine. More importantly, Antonida bites down on her lower lip, speeding up the operation on the keyboard. An irreversible interposition program has already been implanted. Damn it, that bastard Osphorus is determined to enterprise the entirety of the reverse Babylon Tower. Anything we can do about it? I'm using your permission to do what I can, but I cannot stop the interposition program. Judging from the state of things, all I can do is transfer the non-enterprise parts. The irradial enterprise part is unsalvageable. So you mean, many of the sanctifiers in the field are already bound to fate of being enterprised? The doll nods, her answer taking the form of her silent anger. Calm down, Antonida. Do what you can first. I need to relay the situation here to Hesperus. I will leave the data transfer to you. Yes. An operant-induced explosion interrupts the duo. As clinchy as always, Big Sis Angelos. She emerges from the smoke, rushing towards Angelus with her shield as cover. Arrow after arrow explode upon the shield, but it does little to stop Ashari's rapid advance. Angelus immediately changes her strategy, instead launching a series of explosive arrows in Ashari's path. The explosions create crater on the ground, possibly haunting Ashari's step. Halting. Sanctifiers can fly, you know? Ashari leap high into the air, using the ceiling as a launch pad and rushing towards with her weapon. Checkmate. Huh? Ashari's body suddenly halts in mid-air. Before she realizes something is off, she's already surrounded by countless golden arrows. Went it? Her surprise is interrupted by countless explosions. Body is ejected from the clouds of smoke like a stray piece of fabric, slamming into the building's wall. Ow! She moves to get up, only to find a blind golden arrow at her face. You have lost, Asharis. Do you mean to have me surrender, Big Sis Angelos? You have no other options. Huh. It really is a pain to fight you, Big Sis Angelos. Can't have either a good fight or chat. I didn't expect you to hide so many explosive arrows on the other side of Pantheon. So those explosives at my feet were not only to restrict my movement. I made preparations while laying onto those entropics earlier. Thanks goodness for the professor's preparation. Their professor. She loses look over at the two walking at the secret cannon, letting go of her weapon in her hand. By the way, isn't it a bit against the rules to replace those arrows? Doesn't that go against your Sanctifiers' band of glory and honor? This is not a contest, but a battle for the future of the Sanctifiers and Margracia itself. I cannot lose this battle, lest the honor of the Sanctifiers be tarnished. She only received unsympathetic mockery in return. Honor, honor? Do you really not see things what they are still? I will not be charmed by you into forgetting my duty as a Sanctifier. Duty? Oh, Asharis laughed, echoes through the Pantheon. I will give you the time, but you really have not got it at all, Big Sis Angelos. What are you talking about? It is related to your nature. Of course, the second shot I have prepared for you.
I have given you a chance to surrender too, but you have only used it to mutter nonsense. Golden operants coalesce around the arrow tip, signifying the battle's end.
Hold on just a second. You cannot hide the things, Big Sis Angelus. I'm more useful to you alive than dead.
Realizing that there was little left in the way of patience for the person in front of her, Eucharist switches her focus to the busy at walking green-haired doll.
Little Anna, can you hear me, right? Why don't you have a guessed at those permissions it would have taken to stop their interpretation?
What are you after?
Don't be so nervous. I want to help you.
Icefrost told me to watch over it, but truth to be told, I don't give a damn.
A story with an ending so far set in stone is far too boring. To allow me to make it a little bit more interesting.
Eucharist snaps her finger, and a key, shining with a golden arrow, slowly descends beside Antonida.
My Sanctifier permissions. There's no trap or anything. You can check if you like. Not like I particularly care for my identity as a Sanctifier.
Antonida inspects the key with some suspicion, making sure that it is safe. It's safe. Can we stop the interpretation with those permissions?
See, I wasn't lying.
Oh my god, this is way too suspicious.
And Eucharist is so chaotic, I'm still not sure if she's evil or good. I'm more convinced that she's just for chaos here.
No, the already injected parts of the sacred canon can't be reverse engineered and restored. I need time. The flame of hope light in Antonida's eyes, and she turns back to the decryption of the sacred canon. Silently, as if she has been witness to some shocking truth, Antonida's hands on her keyboard stops in their track.
Angelus? Oh, have you found something, little Anna?
Antonida takes a meaningful look at Angelus and Eucharist, still engaged in their struggle, immediately turning back.
Nothing.
Hehe. What do you want, Eucharist?
Just to chat for a little bit with Big Sis Angelus. You would better keep me safe and sound. If I were to die, those permissions would not work anymore. And the rest of the secret canon would go boom and be on their very way to be infected. That doesn't sound so bad.
Angelus remained poised with her weapon, unrelenting in contact with the jovial Eucharist.
Well, I wanted to have a more relaxed conversation, but this will do. Big Sis, you have always wanted to know about the relationship between you and Electra, right? Just why you two are so similar, and why a familiar feeling arises whenever something about Electra comes up.
How did you know that?
Because I'm the same way, Big Sis. From the very beginning, I have been your little sister. Even when you were Electra. Sad thing is that we cannot possibly replicate their personalities, nor can the glory of the Sanctifiers ever be ours. We are destined to be second-rate imitations, fakers. Do you know why? I'm sure you have guessed already, because you know what happened to Electra and Alcione.
They were enterprised. System. Warning. Individual Electra enterprisation rate 99%. Warning, individual azione, anthropization rate 99%. They bravely chose to sacrifice himself after being anthropized. The anthropized sacred canon ought to have been deleted, but Eisphorus held onto this. Because he miselected Alcione so much, he created us with their corrupted data. Our secret canon have never been touched by the Lord Gaze. We are not Sanctifiers. That's kind of shocking truth. A pained sentiment bleeds out of his Charismat's eyes, only appearing to enhance Asharis' enjoyment. Big Sis Angelus! That is the second shot, after the revelation that God does not exist. You were never a Sanctifier, Big Sis. Just like me, you were always a modified entropic. Shut up! Shut up! Glowing with golden light, the Sanctifiers yells for her to stop. But the buried truth has already been spoken around. Loud. Your hands are trembling, Big Sis. If you don't believe me, you can ask our creator. Oh, my sweet little Anna, what did you see that made you make that face at Angelus? You thought that Angelus' sacred canon was infected and wanted to destroy it, only find out that it's rooted in her neural cloud, in her very nature. Angelus, don't be tricked by her. Ah, I see. You are not denying it. Angelus, don't forget that you are a Sanctifier. The various gazes fixated on Angelus threatened to consume her. Her breathing becomes heavier as blazing neural overload warnings rings in her ears. Ah, I have always wanted to see this expression on your face, this mixture of despair and disbelief. Don't worry, Big Sis. I struggled to accept this reality in the very beginning as well. Asharis reaches out, malevolent purple energy around her fingertips. Believe me, you will be used to it soon enough. A purple tentacle extends from Asharis' discarded shield, wrapping itself around Angelus' bow-holding hand. Sleep well, Big Sis. As Asharis speaks, a huge amount of information surges into Angelus' neural cloud, and she falls to the ground unconscious. You should not have shielded them, Big Sis. Or this would not have worked at all. Angelus! Asharis, what did you do to her? What a tiresome, overused line. Please, this isn't a game. Do you think I'm obligated to answer your question? She hums at Yun, walking towards the explosion-damaged side of the wall before the professor and Antonida alert eyes. With only a light knock, the perforated wall crumbles and falls, displaying the scenery outside. Not far away in mid-air, the battle between a dragon and a star continues. Oh, they're still at it. Looks like it's getting to the good part of our own Eisphorus side too. It would be a bit of a waste to partake of the most delicious desserts on an empty stomach. Let's start with some appetizers. Asharis raises her fork, pointing it at Antonida and the professor, still busy at working with the analysis. Let's see if you can entertain me sufficiently without Big Sis to protect you. Page 9. Irreverent Gluttony. Grand words and elegant phrasing cannot hide the emptiness of your heart.
浄化者の実力をご覧遊ばせ。
Probably in her dream. Yes. Narrative area. Palace of Odds. She thought she would wake in a silent darkness, but a completely different sight greets her when she opens her eyes. Why? Why do I have to be stuck here? A familiar voice speaks her thoughts out loud. Angelus instinctively turns towards the source of the sound, only to find a familiar figure, much to her surprise. A Eucharist? Her body moves before her thoughts do, creating distance, summoning her weapons, knocking an arrow and driving it full in one swing motion, aiming straight for Eucharist's head. She does not respond, only absently yearning. Only then does Angelus realize the presence of countless figures along with her past self by Eucharist's side. We are on a blade in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear a light in the long night. We must not abuse our power, because we are strong, and neither we abandon our responsibilities, because we are weak. For we need the revelation of God, and we act to carry out His will. Only through order can we glimpse the truth of the revelation. The blessed must engrave the gods in their hearts, fulfill their will, and seek. The image before her calls up past memories. This is our taking of odds. Enjoying my memories, Big Sis? If you still cannot read the self-insert, how about I add a yellow filter for you for the occasion? Eucharist! The familiar voice comes from behind. Angelus immediately pivots, drawing her bow. Our battle isn't over yet. Let me out. Big Sis Angelus, this is my neural space, and I am just a projection. Attacking me will not accomplish anything. And because this is my neural space, all shall be as I desire. We have plenty of time to confide in each other. I'm in no mood to waste time on you. Oh, heartless Big Sis. Unfortunately for you, you don't have a choice. Eucharist deftly avoids Angelus' attacks, and the space around them changes with a single gesture at her. The ground shrinks downwards, and the two enter an eternal freefall. Just as Eucharist said, everything will be as she desires. Eucharist grabs onto Angelus, forcing their two full heads together. Hear my words and forget who you are. You and I were once one. From now on, you are a Eucharist. Huh? Under the spell of her compulsive words, Angelus' red eyes begin to dim. I am a Eucharist? Yes, you are the Eucharist who was so bewildered at the beginning and struggles to accept almost anything. You felt as if nothing was in a place and that you did not belong here. The freefall ends suddenly, and the scenery changes to the Palace of Odds. Mantras and oaths are all well and good, but that is all they are. You do not feel any of their imposure, faith, or belief within.
Perhaps the Lord's light has never graced you. Even as you think that, you feel another voice in your neural cloud, exclaiming in a firm, resolute voice, "Oh ma gracie." The clearer the voice becomes, the more anxious and debilitated you feel. You know who the voice belongs to, because you have dreamed of her countless times. Her and that most important memory of hers. Assault on Tartarus, Electra, Atlas, Eos. And that name that was never yours, Alcyone. Repeated over and over again, as if it indeed to force those foreign memories and beliefs onto you. The voice wasn't alone either. All of those beside you seems to think that you lawfully believes, and committing self-sacrifice in the name was the norm. In another snap of the finger, the two moved from the twilight Acropolis to the fiercely contested front lines. Sanctifiers rushed toward the Entropy's horde, far greater than them in numbers, and fall one after another. The gap left in the lines is soon filled by another Sanctifier. Not far behind them is Eucharist, fighting with her partly honored techniques. You never understood why everyone did as they chose to. Why fight? Why die? But everyone does so. It must be a right thing to do. Thinking such thought, you follow them onto the battlefield, entering the fray with the entropics. Until, with a shrill cry, a Sanctifier's core is entropized by an attack. Two Sanctifiers beside it mourn and pray before purging the now resigned Sanctifier, the latter's eyes closed. At this sight, you don't not feel sadness, neither admiration or recognition. Only one word befits this scene. Laughable. Yes, what could be more fitting than laughable? Giving oneself of the greater good? Dying for the name of the Sanctifiers? What is the meaning of that? Why give your life for something you have never once seen, never once comprehends? Why do they think of sacrifice as something sacred? Why do they call out Alcyon's name in the hopes that you would follow her footsteps? All that sacrifice means is adding another name to this tale. She curses Alcyon's inscribed name, smiling briefly. You feel empty inside and wished to look out for the source of this sudden feeling, to write down the answer yourself. I have gotten a little carried away. Looks like I really did have a lot I wanted to tell you, Big Sis Angelos. Eucharist turns around without waiting for an answer. She finds the golden-haired Sanctifiers already lost, cupped up in her form. Oops, I forgot that you are already Eucharist. Go experience the despair that I once did. Prove that I have chosen to be right. Darkness returns once more. Eucharist lets go, watching as angels fall into the endless abyss. After wading into the depths of despair a few times, anyone will become a monster like me. Yeah, she is not normal.
Oh my god, we actually are shadows. Shadows. I have fallen into the endless abyss where my senses of time and space, and even my own neural cloud, have become hazy and vague. My name is Eucharist. Confusion and blasphemy. Wait, I cannot enter the other area. Oh no, don't tell me this is something with choices. What did I do? Eucharist opens the door to the Pantheon. After a thorough sweep, she was sure that she was the only person in this vast space. No need for a fight at all. Never imagined that it would be this easy to get into Pantheon. All of my racing before was unnecessary. But why no one is standing guard? Are the guards all away at the ceremony? It was the first time she went out into the Pantheon alone. The great building is not completely silent, but it is a far cry from the raucousness of the ceremony. Whatever, no point in thinking about it. The greater Sanctifiers shakes her head, discarding their redundant thoughts. She looks toward the middle of the Pantheon. The truth she hungered after so much rested in the air not far away, emitting a dim light, as if extending an invitation to her, an intruder as she might be. Alright, next. Eucharist had no amazing coding capabilities or permissions to simply search beyond what her ranks is capable of. All she could do was connect to the secret canon with her neural cloud and seek answer to her question with what searching she can do. Answer me, secret canon. What is a Sanctifier? What exactly am I? Nothing happened. Nothing changes as the result of her questioning. She was still alone within the spacious Pantheon. Weird. Is this thing broken? Hey, anyone home? Slightly dissatisfied, she taps at the back on the secret cannon, attempting some times of repair. In the next moment, the world changed before her eyes. The empty Pantheon is soon replaced by a battlefield of carnage and slaughter. Hold on, that's not the response I wanted. Why bring me here? A voice akin to her own comes from behind a shadow. She turns around to see a battle between sisters, reenacted as if she were in a nightmare. Arrow of Judgment! Don't disappoint me, Big Sis. The clash between the two continues at Eucharist's mind's her own business, yearning out of boredom. Is this one of your bad jokes, Secret Canon? I'm simply telling you the truth you so crave, Miss Eucharist. A golden cannon descends beside Eucharist as the voice speaks. Oh, so you have your mind on your own? How should I refer to you? I have no name. For the sake of convenience, you may call me Canon. I did not expect that thing had actually its own mind. Canon it is. Can you explain why you brought me here? Your memories have been dissected by another and are not whole. I'm telling you the truth. Look, their battle's coming to an end. As the canon had described, the battle between the two reaches its climax. She yawns as she watches the sisters embrace. This very scenario has appeared in her neural cloud far too many times already, and those emojis not originally hers were gradually dulled. At this moment, a mechanical warning rings out. Warning. Individual Electra, enterprisation rate 99%. Warning. Individual Azione, enterprisation 99%. The corresponding secret canon entries are almost fully enterprised. Please delete the data at soonest convenience, lest the database be affected. 99%? If that's the case, it would be more accurate to call them entropics and sanctifiers. Canon, you sure those numbers are right? They are. These are the truths, because I have recorded. If that is so... Before she reaches an answer in her rumination, the battle ends before her eyes in mutual destruction. Thus ends our viewing session. In this time, you return to reality, Miss Eucharist. What? Reality? Wait! Eucharist found herself in the Pantheon once more when she opens her eyes, yielding indignities and applying conclusive force, no matter what might have gave. The secret cannon in her hands has nothing more to give her in return. Okay, do I have even a possibility to go the bottom route? There are ambiguous portions of my memory, placed where I hear words that are not mine, repeated over and over again. Those endless repeating segments makes me disgusted. It really is infuriating. Huh? Are you talking about me, are you? No, I want to say that the secret... The secret? Those remaining monsters really are infuriating. Me speaking, Eucharist can only change the topic. She throws the weapon in her hand, impaling the monsters in front of her in one operant and hand strike. As expected of a great sanctifier displaying such efficacy with only a few forays into the field. Tell me, Eucharist, have you felt the great weight of the sanctifier's duty pulling upon the strings of your neural cloud in combat? Unfortunately, what you speak of does not exist. To me, I'm simply doing as I'm ordered. Eucharist recalls her weapon, flicking away the four liquid upon her fork. If I were to be accurate, what I feel can only be described as disgust. She looked at the remnant of the lesser sanctifiers by her feet that she has been trying to ignore. Defeat here means death, right? There is no death, but hallowed sacrifice. In the course of carrying out the sanctifier's duty. What difference is there between death and sacrifice? Just grasping at straws for emphasis. It appears you do not understand the nobility that lies in protecting others. Put in some effort, Eucharist. If things continue as they are, your older sister's going to leave you behind. She looks in the direction Raven indicates. As Raven has exclaimed, Angelus in the middle of the havoc, engaging the main force of the entropic four. Viscous liquid distributes by the explosion arrows, make contact with her face. Angelus only nonchalantly wipes at it with the back of her hand, rushing towards the enemy with bow in hand.
Why fight so hard, Big Sis? Isn't it dangerous to do that? It's all just work. Why not just put a minimum amount and get by? No, what you call it, just work. It's our duty, our divine burden bestowed upon us since our very birth. Raven closed her eyes, raising a balled fist to her chest. You are not going to reject that oath again, are you? I am. Not reject. That's it. I am. This is something of utmost importance to us Sanctifiers. We honor our blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear light in the long night. We must not abuse our power because we are strong, and neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. She pauses intentionally, giving her companion next to her an expectant look. As Raven burning gaze drills into her, Eucharist can only follow along. For we heed the commandments of gods, and we act out to carry out his will. Wrong. Revelation, not commandments. For there we heed the revelation of gods, and we act to carry out his will. Got that, Eucharist? What's the difference between the two already? Whatever, I will remember with a few more goes. Good, as long as you remember. In any case, I will leave the remaining entropics in the back to you. I shall reinforce Angelus at the front. Do not forget our duty as a Sanctifier. Without warning for a response, Raven flies off towards the front lines, not far away. What a silly musclehead. Is there really a need for stuff like that? She did not necessarily think that what she said was wrong. She simply had an aversion towards those ideas for reasons she did not know. Whatever, I will ask her after the battle is over. She sighed helplessly, continuing with the cleanup at hand. She never thought that she would never have the opportunity to clear up her doubts again. Raven, as a great Sanctifier, you have fulfilled a Sanctifier's duty well. Your sacrifice will not go wasted. In the near future, you shall be reborn from the sacred canon in a new form. His declaration complete, he lightly caresses Raven's forehead, rousing the eyes of she who passed upon the battlefield. We honor our blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear a light in the long night. We must not abuse our powers because we are strong, and neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. For we heed the revelation of gods, and we act out to carry out his will. The group dispersed after the ceremony, leaving only Eucharist within the Pantheon. Raven's body is gradually consumed by the sacred canon's white light. As Osphorus said, she will be reincarnated in the near future. She will lose her memories and fall in the field once more, repeating an inescapable cycle. What sanctifies duty? What does it mean if you just go on and die? How stupid all of this is. Tell me, Canon, did Alcyone and Electra go through the same process here back then? Never mind. If you don't feel like talking about it. Done with the topic, Osiris turns around to leave, only to suddenly find another hair standing ahead. Why show me Alcyone again, Canon? This is not Alcyone, Miss Eucharist. There, heretofore silent Canon speaks. That is your own face. Eh? Mine? She expands the visage of the person before her once again. Why? Why am I laughing? Because we are going mad and crazy. Why cannot take the other part? What do we have? Confusion, 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 confusion. We have a lot of confusion. Alcyone, the Sanctifiers named Alcyone. She was my past self, and if those were her last moments, then they were truly lame. -1 confusion. Wait. Oh, we go like 1, 2, 3? There's 3 more parts? ID MGX 90F. Functions no longer suitable. Core enterprised. ID requesting purification. Betray the Sanctifier Osiris. Granting request. The girl puts her fist to the chest, praying as Eucharist did back then. For we heed the revelation of gods, and we act, carry out his will. I got it right this time, Raven. Her chant finished. She thrusts the fork in her hands into the Sanctifier core. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is here to give thanks for? I'm killing you, taking away your life. Thank you. The Lesser Sanctifier's neural system are no longer sufficient to sustain a conversation with Osiris. It can only express its gratitude for its execution, as its owners would have it do. The girl twisted her weapon in her hand, silencing the sanct that was in turn nothing but curse. What am I doing? Really? Osiris pulls back her weapon, surveying her surroundings. Osiris was assigned to clean up behind the front lines of accession. Not long ago, she had engaged the entropics here with Angelus. The Sanctifier, requesting purification. Infected. They might have claimed victory, but the lesser Sanctifiers under her leadership fall one by one before the monster attacks. Former corporates litter the ground around her, affected by entropy, begging for death with their final breath. What a pain! Huh? Even the person who spoke those words felt as if it were all abnormal. This ought to be a sad, holy affair. Why does it feel so frustrated? She shakes her head, trying to deny this emotion that could never have been felt into her neural cloud. You are no executioner, Osiris. What are you doing? It's not slaughter. You are the bestowing upon them a most divine blessing. Oh, there. She throws her weapons at the source of the lava. Her opponent's explode fork easily penetrates the target's core. Thank you. Did I mess up? No, wait. The mutual gratitude around her only persists for a few seconds before returning to that laughing she so loathed. Thank you. Thank you. Ah! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! She fired at the source of the lava with her weapon. After returning to her senses and stopping her hands, there's nothing left around her to save, for piles of opponent ravaged remains. And? Oh god. The unceasing lava coming from her very own mouth. Oh my god. She was a friend who was arguing with me before the battle started, but I learned of her passing after the battle ended. To me, her death was truly lamentable. Two confusions left. Little agents, are you the Sanctifiers who saved us? She wipes away the remnant entropic fluids from the carnage, putting on a fake smile again. Yes, I am. Did you need something from me? I just wanted to express my thanks. It's thanks to your help that we are right at the sector and can't go back working like I did before. I knew the Sanctifiers could easily beat up those monsters. She stops herself from asking if this pathetic being she just protected has seen the mountains of corpses behind her. Perhaps, in the eyes of this little agent, only humanoids like her were worthy of being considered life. No matter how many lesser Sanctifiers fall, they are still no more than broken machines. At this thought, a burning resentment ignites deep down within her. I see. So long as you are safe. Yes, thank you very much for your help. This is for you. What is it? A confectionery named Chocolate. My friend got it from Burbank. She gave me 2 pieces. This piece is for you. I hope you like it. Thank you. Ingestion of food is a meaningless act for Sanctifiers, but she could not bring herself to deny their expanded smiling face before her. She peels apart the wrapper with her stained hands, chewing and swallowing while fighting back a particular violent wave of nausea. Oh, it's sweet! Liar. Liar? Whoa, this is something else. You only taste bitterness and blood. Ah, this food is called chocolate. It's delicious. You only taste bitterness and blood. If I get the chance. If I get the chance. I would much rather savor the taste of pain and despair on your face. There's what? Sorry, I didn't catch that. No, it's nothing. I must be too tired. Resting the urge to snap the angel's neck, she smiles
and pats her on the head. Haha. We'll be here to protect you next time again. Yes, until I'm dead. Run, little agent. I eat the chocolate, which smelled of gore and liquid enterprise, in order to protect the reputation of the Sanctifiers and to get closer to the self in my memories. The chocolate tasted absolutely disgusting. Really? Man, I'm like, it is not a Eucharist that I know. God, I feel so sad. Eucharist was really a nice character in the first half. Tell me, Canon, just who am I? I have already given you the answer. You already have your own conclusion, but you reject them as you deem them far too ridiculous. I'm not in the mood to go around that circus with you. I am only here for the truth. Your permissions end here. Any further actions is a breach of boundaries. It would be in your future interest to leave before the guards patrol this area again. No need to worry about that. She spoke in a relaxed, casual tone. I took care of all of them, so our conversation would not be interrupted. If you don't believe me, you can verify what I'm saying with those abilities of yours. It is anathema to kill Sanctified Skin or Eucharist. You will be subject to the endless judgment. I'm not that stupid. Killing another Sanctifiers is a sin indeed, but bestowing upon them glorious sacrifice is not only no transgression, but something to be thanked for. You. Before doing anything, I already enterprised them. Yes, with my very own hands. Malevolent energies ebb around the girl's fingertips. She sneers as she looked at the silent cannon, discarding her previous disguise. I think we can put an end to act here, Lord Asphorus. Or would you rather continue to speak to me via the cannon as we mount peace? A powerful presence footsteps can be heard from behind Eucharist. He does not turn around, only smiling crookedly at the emptiness in the middle of the sacred cannon. I don't care for your plans, nor do I wish to know them. But you can count me in. If I can make this boring world a little interesting, even my life is a small price to pay. Where is this? Why is everything all black? Electra, are you here, Electra? Can you hear me? The girl sits up, yelling into the dark, endless darkness. No one is here. She moves to get up and look around, but she hears the sound of footsteps behind her. Electra, is it you? She is greeting with the sign of another her. Another me? Good to meet you, Alcione. I have seen you in the records and in my dreams plenty of times, but it is the first time we have spoken face to face, right? Who are you? Why do I smell the entropic stench of you? Oh, notice already? My apologies. It appears I have gotten a little too excited. Eucharist only lightly touches her face, not intending to hide the mirth on her face at all despite the hostile response. I suppose I'm your replacement, currently perfectly executing my duties as a great sanctifier.
Ridiculous! How could someone like you be a Sanctifier? Ah, you are right. How could I be a Sanctifier? That is why you are here, Alcione. The darkness around them begins to surge. Alcione suddenly realizes that the darkness around her is a silk-like substance, moving as it was alive. It wiggles towards her, hating her pure white garb in color. Damn it! She attempts to summon her weapon, only to find no purchase. Her hands comes into contact with the grim and begins to be swallowed bit by bit. No! The girl resists with all her might, but she is soon dragged down by a hand extending from the mark. Without her powers, Alcione is but a normal girl. She tries to peel away the grim on her body with the most primal of methods. But it is all for naught as she sinks deeper and deeper. The sound of desperation is music to the ears. Do not worry, I will not take long for me to consume you. After all, I shall be the whole Sanctifier. So, any last words you would like to say? We honor our blade in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear light in the long night. We must not abuse our powers because we are strong, and neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. That's all you have to say? Stupid till the end. And here I wanted to make a little less painful. At her gesture, the black mark fully swallows the girl named Alcione. She watches as the long extended hand, begging for help, slowly sinks into the corridor depths of despair. And then gulp. She swallowed the being known as Alcione passed in one mouthful, stamping her feet at the sheer deliciousness of this unsampled flavor. So despair had such an enchanting taste all along. No wonder you named me Eucharist. As for us, you really are pity. As if finished with desserts, she rises elegantly to her feet, walking towards the light. I hope you will be equally succulent when the time comes. Big Sis Angelus. I hope not. Why could I not review the other path? I will try it after. From the beginning, I was always an entropic. To destroy, to annihilate. This is my base layer logic. No wonder I was always doubting myself. In that case, I choose to be a Sanctifier? Can I change something? At the beginning I was entropic, to destroy and annihilate. In that case I choose to be a... Just kidding, of course I'm an entropic. Rather than adhering to the burden of duty, choosing enjoyment better suits an entropic now. Each cast of an auto skill inflicts massive damage to enemies on the field. MVP, Eucharist. This is very unsettling. Eucharist and entropic. And Angelus too. I don't remember when I got Angelus, did I got the sign of an entropic or of an
Sanctifier. Because we have both. We got Eos and we have Darkstar Hubble. It is interesting how the story will result. And who will survive in the end? So we will be continuing with the part 3. For the part 2, I thank you for watching, listening. I wish you a good day, night, afternoon, and see you in more NeuroCloud. Take care.